Alright guys, Warren Williams from WarrenWilliamsCoaching.com. So part one of this was living your legacy. So I was talking about the legacy and how important it is to find that legacy. So we're going to go into a bit more about why the legacy is basically so important for us. I was talking about if you don't have a big enough dream, you have a crisis. So many people nowadays are so depressed, simply because they don't have their dream. How do you find that dream? First of all, in order for you to find a dream, you have to first of all get quiet. What does that mean? Get quiet and actually learn to be present with yourself in all things that you do every single day. Being present doesn't mean I'm stressed and I'm going to go watch TV. That's not being present. Being present is actually starting to learn to listen to your heartbeat. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but settling everything down. Listen to your heartbeat. Be aware of your shoulders. When your shoulders are elevated like this, that's tension. When you're tense, you're in your left brain. The left brain is the fight-flight response in our body. It is stress, it is adrenaline, it is go, go, go. Most people in their lives is go to work, they come home, they watch TV, they go to sleep, they go to work and repeat. They're so in their left brain, they're so in a survival mode. If you refer to my first video speaking about the safety and security, the financial drive, that is the survival mode that we always have to survive in this world, in the Western world. So people are always in their left brain. When they're in their left brain, they're moving so fast, they can't actually slow down to actually hear what their body's telling them, whether they've got a bad back, whether they've got a kidney problem, whether they've got heart disease or anything like that. They're moving so fast that they actually can't slow down to actually hear what their body's telling them. And eventually, they get hit by a disease and they have to slow down. And what happens is your body's trying to shift you into your right brain. The right brain is the creative part of you. That only happens when you learn to slow everything down. So get quiet and listen to your higher self or your inner self. That happens through meditation, prayer, Tai Chi, Qigong, going for long walks, spending time in nature. When you're able to slow everything down, then you can start working on your legacy, which is first of all finding what your core values are. Your core values are your life principles, things that define you. What is your core values when it comes to relationships? Whether or not you're going to marry someone, or if you just want to have children with someone, or if you actually want to have a short-term relationship. What are your core values when it comes to relationships? What are your core values when it comes to food? What sort of foods are you willing to eat, whether it's organic or if it's processed? What are your core values when it comes to exercise? Will you exercise twice a week? How long? Once you establish your core values, that is a roadmap for you to be able to find out what your dream is, because your dream represents who you are as a person. You see, most people nowadays are consumed by creating an addiction when the addiction is already covering up an unmet need. If you treat the addiction, you're treating the addiction itself, you're treating the symptom. But you have to learn to treat the unmet need. The unmet need is normally when you're not satisfied by something that you're not doing in your life. So if you have a job, like you work in 9 to 5 as an accountant or a banker, but you actually want to be a painter, or you want to be someone that changes the world, then you're always going to be in this state of unmet need, and you can create an addiction. Like, there's so many footballers out there that they're making so much money, more money than they can spend, and all they do is they go and gamble, because the gambling is an addiction for an unmet need. They're doing something that, or they're missing something in their life. So first of all, we have to find out what our core values are. Our core values support our dream, and our dream is the fuel that we need to continue to feel like we mean something in our life. Because at the end of the day, everyone in the world is trying to find out whether they can contribute in some way to this world, whether it's contributing to their family, contributing to their children, or whatever, contributing to society. If you feel like you're not contributing in the world, nothing you do will ever satisfy you. You'll always try to find an addiction to cover the unmet need. So establish what your core values are. So just simply sit down, get quiet, take a deep breath, pause, turn the TV off, turn the radio off, just relax and think. What am I trying to achieve? What are my core values in relationships, health, finance, work, exercise? Once you establish what your core values are and you've written them out, then have a look at what your principles really mean to you. Once you realize what your principles really mean to you, then you can actually sit down and figure out what your dream is. Once you establish your dream, your direction is clear, life starts to change. Once life starts to change, you'll be able to put that energy into creativity to help others. Because what you're doing here as you grow, as you elevate through your life, or the school of life, your path here is to learn and then to teach. As we always say, live it and then teach it. So then what you're going to do is pay it forward and put that energy into helping somebody else, become creative, and then that person will help somebody else become creative and define their own legacies. When everyone's living a legacy, then the world will be a completely different place, because you won't have depression, because you can't. Depression can't sustain itself if you're happy, and happiness only happens if you establish the dream.